Visit us on onestepenglish.com. Listening. Listening. Directions in listening section, you will hear monologues, dialogues, and academic talks. Space monkeys. Before people went into space, animals did. The first chimp to go into space was named Ham. Ham went 156 miles above Earth. Ham flew for only 16 minutes. The spaceship landed in the ocean, and Ham was not hurt. The second chimp in space was named Enos. Enos was the first chimp to go around Earth in a spaceship. The trip lasted more than 3 hours. While Enos was flying around Earth, he had work to do. He could eat and drink during his flight too. After his trip, Enos landed in the ocean. Then a boat picked up his spaceship. When the spaceship was opened, Enos hopped out. First, Enos just took a deep breath of fresh air. Then he shook his hands with all the people on the boat. Enos was happy to be back on Earth.
Number 1. Who was the first animal to travel on space?
Letter A. Bacon.
Letter B. Enos.
Letter C. Ham.
The correct answer is letter C. The first animal to travel on space was Ham.
Number 2. What can Enos do while he was flying around Earth?
Letter A. He can play around during his flight.
Letter B. He can eat and drink during his flight.
Letter C. He can communicate with people on Earth during his flight.
The correct answer is letter B. Enos can eat and drink during his flight.
Number 3. What did Enos do first after he hopped out the spaceship?
Letter A. He took a deep breath of fresh air.
Letter B. He shook his hands with the people on the boat.
Letter C. He slept right away.
The correct answer is letter A. Enos took a deep breath of fresh air right after he hopped out from the spaceship. Reading section.
In this section, you'll be required to read 2 passages on varying topics. After each passage, you will answer questions to test your ability to understand vocabulary, writer's point of view, factual information and sentence structures.
Reading number 1. People who have COVID-19 might need only 1 shot of a coronavirus vaccine by Tina Hesmansay. Source: www.sciencenews.org.
Number 1. What did the doctors suggest to people who had COVID when they're going to get vaccinated again?
Letter A. Get 2 doses shot to confirm its effect.
Letter B. Single shot is okay for those who got the virus for the second time.
Letter C. Get vaccinated with Pfizer or Moderna only.
The correct answer is letter B. The doctor suggests to people who have COVID for the second time to have single shot of the vaccine.
Number 2. Why is it okay to get single shot of the vaccine for the second time when you acquire the virus?
Letter A. The antibodies remembers it.
Letter B. Moderna and Pfizer are both effective.
Letter C. It is impossible to acquire the virus for the second time.
The correct answer is letter A. It's okay to get single shot of the vaccine for the second time when you acquire the virus because the antibodies remembers it.
3. Why do they need to give single shot of the vaccine to those who had the virus aside from the fact that antibodies remembers it?
Letter A. People cannot afford the vaccine.
Letter B. There is a shortage of the vaccine.
Letter C. The vaccine is not 100% effective.
The correct answer is letter B. B. There is a shortage of the vaccine. Reading number 2. An excerpt from Energy Policy Debates Heat Up for Politicians as Texas Freezes and Power Outages Span the State. Source: www.dallasnews.com.
Number 1. Where did their problem in major outages in the power grid come from?
Letter A. From thermal sources, such as natural gas and coal, not renewable sources.
Letter B. From factories and buildings.
Letter C. From renewable gas or sources.
The correct answer is letter A. The problem in major outages in the power grid came from thermal sources, such as natural gas and coal, not renewable sources.
Number 2. What did experts say behind the power outages? Letter A. More complicated than simply needing either more fossil fuels or more forms of renewable energy.
Letter B. Not complicated, it simply need either more fossil fuels or more forms of renewable energy.
Letter C. More complicated and cannot find solution right now.
The correct answer is letter A. Experts said that they are more complicated than simply needing either more fossil fuels or more forms of renewable energy.
You've reached the mid part of the video, please don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Vocab. In this section, you will learn vocabulary words with its meanings and examples. In the test, there are 5 questions and you have 10 seconds to answer each question.
Estimate. Verb: roughly determine, calculate or judge the value tentatively.
Example. We will estimate the cost of materials needed for the construction of the building.
infectious. Adjective, capable producing and spreading infection.
Example. We need to keep our hands sanitized and wear masks because the virus is infectious.
Offline. Adjective, not controlled or connected to a server or computer.
Example. I can't call Diane on Facebook, she's offline.
Renewable. Adjective, capable of being renewed.
Example. Contracts and permits are renewable.
Symptoms. Noun, subjective evidence of physical disturbance or disease.
Example. Seek professional doctors when symptoms persist.
Let's have a quick test on vocab section.
Number 1. They gave me 6 months to stay in my dorm, but the landlady said that it is blank. Adjective, capable of being renewed.
Letter A. Estimate. Letter B. Infectious. Letter C. Offline. Letter D. Renewable. Letter E. Symptoms.
The correct answer is, letter D. They gave me 6 months to stay in my dorm, but the landlady said that it is renewable.
Number 2. Oh my god. This is one of the blank of the virus. Noun, subjective evidence of physical disturbance or disease.
Letter A. Estimate. Letter B. Infectious. Letter C. Offline. Letter D. Renewable. Letter E. Symptoms.
The correct answer is, letter E. This is one of the symptoms of virus.
Number 3. How am I supposed to call you when you're blank? Adjective, not controlled or connected to a server or a computer.
Letter A. Estimate. Letter B. Infectious. Letter C. Offline. Letter D. Renewable. Letter E. Symptoms.
The correct answer is, letter C. How am I supposed to call you when you're offline?
Number 4. Let's blank if how much can we save if we start saving now. Verb, roughly determine, calculate or judge the value tentatively.
Letter A. Estimate. Letter B. Infectious. Letter C. Offline. Letter D. Renewable. Letter E. Symptoms.
The correct answer is, letter A. Let's estimate of how much can we save if we start saving now.
Number 5. Can you give me some tips on how to avoid the blank disease? Adjective, capable producing and spreading infection.
Letter A. Estimate. Letter B. Infectious. Letter C. Offline. Letter D. Renewable. Letter E. Symptoms.
The correct answer is, letter B. Can you give me some tips on how to avoid the infectious disease?
Speaking section.
Think of a bad memory or experience you had. How did you get away from fight?
The bad experience I had when I was young was when not all the people I considered friends did not consider me as their friends. I felt melancholy, but I understand the fact that not all people will like me. That not everyone we like will also like us back. I did not get away from that experience, but I accepted it. Getting away from a problem is never and will never be the solution, because for me, when you get away, it means you are avoiding it. I accepted it by loving myself first. In that way, I will realize my worth and stop chasing people who do not want to be friends or be a part of my life. It is hard at first, but as time goes by, we will definitely learn on how to do it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Visit us on onestepenglish.com.